Hey everybody, welcome in. It is the Week 16 preview. So championship weekend, and of course the slate of matchups are all about the championship. We only have 4 total matchups. Travis and Brittany, they're through the fantasy season. They've dealt with their anxiety, and they get to chill and enjoy their lovely Christmas time. And of course, Katie and Eli. Eli can sit there and be super happy. He avoided the sack. Katie, on the other hand, well, sharing is caring after all. So I'm making this Tuesday night because I will be traveling Wednesday morning, and I'm not going to really have much time to do this Wednesday. And honestly, outside of like the grade transactions, I don't think there's going to be that many that occur. But I will say this: any of the transactions CJ makes, they're A's. Anything that Jay makes, they're B's. So anyway, enough that joking around. Let's hop into it. So I'll do a quick preview of Brady and Scott, who are playing each other again, and no, damn it. Oh my god, the last time. It is not Brady and Scott. It is Brady and Gabe. Oh my goodness. I have done this all year. And then we have Scott and Weston. I will, of course, go over these matchups briefly, and then Tori and myself. But of course, the main focus will be on the championship matchup, Jay versus CJ. So first up, we have Brady versus Gabe. And right now, Brady's a 30-point favorite. Again, not really much going on here. There's not really much at stake, so I'm not going to really throw too much credibility into this. But you know, it's always fun to figure out if you could have been a top 6 or 7 team, and to see if you could beat out a championship team. So if anyone's trying to find any motivation, just put in your best lineup and see if you can outscore everyone. If you do, you get that $7 at the end. So remember, everyone's still in it. Week 16, everyone can still get the high man. So regardless, those playing, yeah. Next up, we have Weston versus Scott. And I'm going to see, so in the consolation bracket, so Brady and Gabe, that's for 7th place. So, do you find yourself in a position where you should have, gone on to maybe the playoffs and been a little bit stronger. But this is the 9th place matchup between Scott and Weston. And Weston is currently a 20-point favorite over Scott. And Tori, I'm not going to really say that. It is what it is. Next we have Tori and myself. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is going to be the highest scoring match of the week, and really should have been the championship matchup. Yes, I am not truly over it. Obviously, it's a week to week. Obviously, Jay deserves it, and so does CJ. But in my heart of hearts, I do believe that Tori and I have the 2 strongest teams, and I think it would be really difficult to say that we don't. In terms of points for the season, we led the league and we were top 2. Tori had the most wins. I had, not the most wins, but I was, 1 win away from being the true number 2 seed behind Jay. But of course, I lost to Travis in week 13. So I really, I think this is probably in 99 other universes, this is really the championship matchup. And this will be the highest scoring matchup of the week. I am doubling down. And I am a 7-point favorite over Tori. I'm sure we'll make some slight adjustments, and this is for our money back, $20. But Tori, I think, has been high man 3 times. So Tori has profited off the season regardless. Next up, we have Jay versus CJ. And this is very close. And I think this matchup will be very close. But knowing CJ's track record, I'm going to guess this is going to be relatively lower scoring. I'm going to say the most 130, 140, which really isn't that much, that super low scoring, but compared to what we've seen, that is kind of, lower than the average per se. Definitely higher than Eli's average this year and Katie's, but hey, what can I say? Either way, it's really going to be catered between a couple of players here. Will Derrick Henry carry Jay? And Jay really needs Derrick Henry to probably do what he's done, because I don't think if he isn't able to do that, I think it's going to be very difficult for Jay to win this. Um, well, I'm honestly, that's not true. Adam Thielen and Robert Woods and Corey Davis are great wide receivers. Those are his strongest points, but pretty much any team that plays CJ just does not do well. And I don't know why. But anyway, he's got Zeke. But he's really going to need Derrick Henry to put up some points here. If he doesn't meet those projections, I think it's going to be difficult. And I'm imagining he's going to change out his defense because Seattle against Kansas City is not going to be very good. I think Fairbairn at Philly, that could be, I don't know, maybe you want to rethink the kicker there, Jay. That might be difficult. And then Jalen Richard in the flex. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're probably going to find a better flex on the waiver wire. Personally, I don't like any of your flexes in your position, and I'm trying to give you the best bet to win because I would love to see Jay win his first championship. But everywhere else it looks good. So Jay, look into a flex your defense and kicker and see if you can find any better solutions. But regardless, good luck, buddy. CJ, on the other hand, he's been in this championship matchup twice. He's won twice. He's never lost. And he's going for his third championship, which would be the first person to have 3. He's currently tied with Brady for 2. So just, some fun facts there. CJ here. So he's got Breeze, and Breeze hasn't been great. So that's going to kind of be a weird thing. He is playing Pittsburgh, and I'm going to imagine this is going to be some level of shootout, but you know what? Pittsburgh and New England, that was supposed to be a shootout. Carolina and New Orleans, that was supposed to be a shootout. So my concern here is for Drew Brees and CJ. Will Drew Brees perform? I don't know. And I'm sure CJ is not incredibly comfortable with the current position for Drew Brees. His other 3 wide receivers, they've seemed to have met projections every single week. But really what's been his catalyst and what's been carrying his squad are his 2 running backs, Kamara and McCaffrey. They combine for about 50 points each week. And that gives you a lot of, if you can get 10 to 15 points at every other position, and that includes quarterback, you're going to be sitting at about 140, 150 points a week. So that's kind of where CJ is. He's not tricky. It's those 2 running backs. And I'll say this for the kicker. I think Bill Mayer probably is fine. Chicago against San Francisco, I think, will be probably a fine play. They're going to get after Nick Mullins. I think they're probably going to have a lot of sacks, potentially a touchdown. They have been red hot as of late. He's going to keep that in, and I think that's really going to be a big play for CJ is Chicago's defense. Ian Thomas, tight end right now is a giant crapshoot, but I would probably roll with Thomas. Maybe if CJ can find another flex or another wide receiver to start, but I think for the most part, his lineups are really not going to get much better. Maybe a wide receiver or 2 can fill in the void, but I don't know. Yeah, I think this is going to be an incredibly close matchup between these 2 teams. And I don't really know who's going to win. I will say this. I think it's really hard for CJ to win this matchup if Drew Brees does not put up 20-plus points. If he does less than 20, I think it's difficult. Jay, on the other hand, I think that if he can have his players just meet their projections, which is what I was saying last week for Torrey, which doesn't seem to happen, I think it's going to be difficult. I think, George Kittle against Chicago, that could be difficult, even though he is an animal. He is a stud and going to be a top 10 tight end pick next year for sure. But Derrick Henry, I think Jay needs Derrick Henry to perform. If he doesn't get Derrick Henry to perform, I think it's going to be tough, really tough for him because CJ is getting 50 points from his running backs, and I would say that their flexes are between Jay's and CJ's flexes are pretty even. The difference here is, will Jay's wide receivers outduel CJ's running backs? He's got Zeke. Jay's got Zeke. He's great. He's amazing. But you got Zeke times 2 on CJ's side. So I think this is going to be incredibly close, like I've been saying. And I would love to see Jay win his first one, but it'll also be awesome to see CJ win 3, especially coming from CJ's position, who really this is amazing roster management. A lot of luck down the stretch, really having some underperforming teams play CJ, but really CJ acquiring McCaffrey and bolstering this roster to center around those 2 and Drew Brees. I think CJ's done a beautiful job. But anyway, that's it. That concludes it. Good luck to everyone this week, and remember, at least you don't have the sack, except for Katie. Anyway, that's it. Peace out.